If I've got people coming around for lunch or dinner, what I love making the most is a Mexican fiesta. This is a great way to eat if you've got 6 or more people coming around. So I'm talking about like pulled pork and beans, tortillas, guacamole, some sour cream, lots of colourful slaws. And it's great because you just put everything in the middle of the table. Everyone just helps themselves and it gets a little bit messy, but hey, what a fun way to eat. And there's not many dishes at the end either. This is probably the easiest pulled pork recipe you will ever come across. All you've got to do is chuck in about 1 kilogram of pork, diced up, about a can of chipotle sauce, which is a smoked Mexican chili, about 500 ml of a nice dark beer, and then a tablespoon of soy sauce and a tablespoon of brown sugar. Stir it all together, lid on, slow cook it for about 2 hours until the pork is nice and tender and you're done. While the pork's cooking in the oven, you've got loads of time to put all the other bits and pieces together. So we've got a cabbage and mango slaw. So for the pickled red onions, all you've got to do is mix some red wine vinegar and a little bit of sugar together. Then finely slice your red onion. Have a little bit of a cry, add the onions to the red wine vinegar and just stir it around and leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes. The tomato jalapeno salsa is absolutely key. So start with lots of beautiful tomatoes. You can use any color tomatoes. The more color, the better. And just finely dice them. You can leave the seeds and everything in them. And then we're just going to finely chop some jalapenos, add that, and lots of coriander or cilantro because you can't have Mexican without coriander. For the guacamole, pretty easy. You just get some avocados, bit of lime juice and a bit of sea salt and kind of mash it together. But my tip here is don't mash it too much. I don't like guacamoles that are really smooth. Try and just roughly crush it so that you've still got a bit of texture with the avocado. When you're ready to eat, all there's left to do is cook your tortillas and they basically just need heating up. When the pork's nice and tender, get it out of the pot with some tongs and then just grab 2 forks and just roughly shred it apart. Because it's so tender, it will come really easily apart. And while you're doing this part, you can always put the sauce back on the stove top to keep boiling so that it reduces down and becomes a bit thicker and stickier. And then you just put all the pulled pork back in. I like to mix my pork with some beans as well. It makes everything go a bit further. And I love beans too, and they're really good for you. So in goes a can of beans, mix it together, and you're done. Yum! That is so tasty. All of the juices have reabsorbed back into the pulled pork, making it really moist and tender and juicy, and the flavors are amazing. It's a little bit spicy, but that's what we want. We are having Mexican after all. So all you've got to do now is just put everything in bowls, chuck it in the middle of the table and let everyone dig in.